What's up, Jessica? So honored to get some questions from you, excited to answer, and hopefully looking forward to chatting with you more in the future, hopefully live sometime. Thank you so much for the congratulations. It's very exciting to make it this far in the game that I love so much. As far as my expectations coming into the house, I had expected to play a totally different game. I thought that I'd be able to play just for myself. And as soon as I got in, I saw the cookout, I saw the opportunity that we had, and I realized that I could drastically increase the odds of accomplishing a mission that would go so much further beyond the game and be a opportunity for representation on a pretty big platform. I knew that I had to prioritize that. So that meant putting aside my own personal game at multiple points throughout the summer, making decisions that would get blood in my hands or put a target on my back in a way that could keep my allies who didn't have the same abilities to keep themselves safe out of harm's way. And also, I had to send home some allies that I know would have benefited my own personal game, but were too big of threats to the other members of the cookout. That was challenging throughout the summer, just because on an emotional and psychological and competitive level, it felt like exactly what it was, which was doing things against my own personal self-interest. However, since I could see the strategic value for the six at making these decisions, I had no hesitation in making them, even if they were difficult internally for me to make them. That was not something I expected to happen when I was coming into the house, but I'm so thankful to have had the opportunity to do this, and I wouldn't have changed any of it for the world. I mean, Jessica, you know what it's like inside the house. You know that at any moment, any eviction, it could be you. I could have been Travis, and I knew that because I was the very first person on the block this summer. After that moment, I knew I had to prepare myself. So even though Xavier and Derek had told me that I didn't even need to pack my things, I did, and I packed more thoroughly than they had told me was necessary, because I knew that the possibility was there, and I knew it was an easy move for them to make. As far as Derek and Azza, I understand the move they made. I actually told Derek to his face on at least 3 occasions that if he has the decision, he should send me home over Azza, because on a strategic, non-personal level, that would be better for his game, because he doesn't have the skills as a competitor to be able to have a high probability of beating me in terms of that final HOH and in terms of getting the final 2. So when he asked me at the end, hey, you know, are we still good for a final 2? I knew that I didn't want to lie to him. And as far as any personal things that were said on my eviction, my main thing is I invite people to look at the words that I actually said, because me and Xavier had very specific conversations about how us as individuals and our families value competitors that compete in a certain way. And so whether that's fictional characters or real characters and athletes and competitors, such as like a Goku or a Kobe Bryant, these were people who consistently choose to go head to head and toe to toe and face their competition directly. That was something that I told everyone in the house I value, and something that I would do. That was something that Xavier said that he valued, and something that his family also valued, and something that he would use to direct his decisions. In that moment, all I did was I brought up those words specifically. In the Big Brother house, you get accustomed to, or at least you should get accustomed to, being very specific about the words that you choose to use. That's what I did in that moment. Of course, did I know they could strike a chord? Yes. But did any of the literal words that I used, in the context that I used them, directly disrespect his family or his character? On an objective level, no, they didn't. So thus, I don't regret them. That being said, if there is an interpretation, or if maybe I did make a mistake, an error in one of the word choices that did show that disrespect, then of course I apologize for that. But I don't believe I did. And as long as I didn't, I'm fine with those choices. And just bringing up what someone said in the context that they said it in an objective way, I see no issue with that, and thus no regrets. I said throughout the season that I want to bring the best to the end. For me, this was a combination of values and strategy. Once I got to the end of the game and we made it to final 6, I had a decision to make. I knew that we were going to have our first Black winner of Big Brother. Now I had to decide, if I have a say, do I want that winner to win in a certain way? Because you can win this game by any means necessary. And there's so many rules and or lack of rules that become commonplace as far as backstabs and lies and non-upfront gameplay. And for some people, if you're not a strong competitor, that is your best option. So I totally understand those moves. We have someone like Tiffany, who is a strong competitor physically, mentally on the competitions. She is a strong player socially and a strong player strategically. She's someone that I truly did and do respect her gameplay as a whole. That being said, towards the end of the summer, she made some decisions that she voiced to me directly. She acknowledged, by her words, were selfish and disloyal. And at that time, up to that moment, Xavier hadn't done that. He stayed consistent with being loyal to the cookout, making unselfish moves. And so that was pretty much my decision, because I wanted to get to the end originally with Xavier and Tiffany, because I saw them as the two strongest competitors. But once I realized that I had to make that choice at Final 6, I knew that I had a goal for what I wanted the first Black winner of Big Brother to represent. And the gameplay, it's not just, that they got there, it's how they got there. At the time, I thought that I was not alone in this mentality. Tiffany told me that she wasn't of that mentality. She did warn me that Xavier probably wasn't either. He had a track record that led me to believe there was a higher probability that he could be in line with it than it was anyone else, as far as people who wanted to do that gameplay and had the resume to back it up. Obviously, I was still going for the veto, going for the HOH. My only regret would really be not winning that last veto, not winning that last HOH. Other than that, I meant it when I told people that even if Xavier had told me of this plans and this outcome, I was still going to bring him to the end, because he had a stronger game as a whole, looking at those 3 categories, than anyone else that was in the cookout. So for me, having that epic finale of 2 people that had that resume go against each other in the end was an idealistic end to an already idealistic and historic season. And so that's a decision that I'd make again.